I would say they taught us how to build a house of bricks.
I would say from my perspective, I didn't have a father in the home, so him and my Uncle Cunny, they were the two
Yeah.
that they still showed, they were exemplified what it meant to be a man, to be a father, to be a provider, and they just the way they carried themselves. They were well, were and are they very different from most of our family. I would say not that our family isn't bad or whatever, but they just had a different standard as far as what they wanted and accepted from their kids and from themselves. Both of them worked a lot,
Yeah, they
but
did.
yeah, and they didn't complain about it, you know.
No, they just got up and did it. I would say, I love like analogies. I would say they taught us how to build a house of bricks. They taught
Mm-hmm.
us how to build a house of stone,
Mm-hmm.
instead of a house of straw. Like these men, my dad and Uncle Connie, they're like pillars,
Yes.
concrete.
Mm-hmm.
You can always depend on that stability. They were there,
Mm-hmm.
and they was just there. They were present. They showed up.
Yep.
They didn't, regardless of what was going on, they didn't allow themselves to get blown and tossed in the wind. They
Mm-hmm.
made sure they were planted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the biggest legacies that has been left is, son, understand how to plant your feet and keep them there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of distractions out here. Are your feet gonna move toward that, or will you keep them planted so that you can stay focused on the things that you need to stay focused on?
Mm-hmm.
And so they both have represented that. So it's been huge.